Hello everybody, welcome to Art and Outdoor Life here with John. I hope that you enjoyed my videos, and I hope that you are having a good, wonderful, peaceful day, evening or night, wherever you are, wherever you may be. These videos are basically demonstrations, uh, good for coping mechanisms for wellness, mindfulness, and of course anxiety, and just to let your hair down and have fun. If you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for viewing. Okay, so what I'm doing here first is I'm putting some Payne's Gray for the sky. I made my own Payne's Gray, this time using some cobalt blue mixed with some Viridian and a touch of black. This is very simple, nice scene you could paint. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit, maybe a little cloudy, maybe early in the morning, or, kind of overcast, or right before evening, right as the sun is about pretty much settled. Maybe it's a stormy day. Okay, so here I'm mixing some sap green with a little bit of cobalt blue to get some darker greens, and I'm just gonna push it in there. Just push it in there. You can add more green or more of the cobalt blue, or any kind of darker blue if you wanted to. Basically, to get kind of a blue-green color without a whole lot of blue. You can also warm it up with a little bit of red or beryllium that I have there. And so I just been thinking about spring a lot lately. This winter has been so long. Normally our winters are pretty mild, and but not this year. So I just went ahead and just going along with it again with the hake brush. Now I did wet the paper before I started painting, but I let the paper dry so that way it stretched on its own, so there wasn't so much buckling. Now I'm putting in some Prussian blue, straight Prussian blue, just going over it like that. But yeah, I have spring. I cannot wait for spring to come. I mean, it's almost here, almost here, and so now with a little bit of burnt umber, and that's some pale yellow. You can use a lemon yellow. So basically, it's a yellow and brown mix. I'm just putting in some spots here because they're going to affect the color. And basically I'm blending it on the paper here. Just kind of randomly putting it in places. Because I still want, with those colors mixed, now you're kind of putting in a little bit of earth tone, right? So now straight burnt umber there. And then I like to pat the brush, use the brush and pat the paper at times. I am using a card in this video here, in this painting. Anybody could do this, you can do this, you could change it up however you want to. It's all about fun. It's about relaxing, taking time, bring out your creative side. Okay, so with the corner of this card, instead of making large rocks, just with the very corner, I'm just barely, just scraping it, little bitty circles, little bitty circles. And it gives it the illusion of smaller rocks, I guess you would say. So as the paint's still wet, so I want that river to go up and curve around a little bit. So because the paint's still wet, I'm using the card to kind of scrape it out up there. Cards are so fun. You could do so many things with them. I love these cards. You can use a palette knife, a plastic palette knife. Won't hurt the paper at all. This is not 100% cotton paper. It's 140 pound, your standard watercolor paper that you buy in your regular store. It's basically your wood pulp paper. So I figured I'd scrape in some fence post here, a small fence. The contrast between the fence post goes very nice against any color that you put down for land. If you're scraping it, it comes out very nice. So I'm taking the pale yellow all by itself. And now we're going to add some flavor in here. Create the field, and then we'll shape the field, right? With the brush strokes. The brighter you want the field to be, the more yellow you leave on it. You don't want it so bright, then you do more blending. In this case, it's going against straight on ultramarine blue. So if I want that brighter, I would add more yellow. If I want it darker, I leave it just like that. Because blue and green, or blue and yellow, create green. That's why I throw the yellow on top of there. So, with the Payne's Gray I made here, and a touch of the burnt umber, I'm just going to come over here, and some of that grass color, which is the sap green and the cobalt blue mixed. And I'm just going to come over and just kind of touch up the trees a little bit, the tree line a little bit more. They in watercolor, they will fade. Everything, the colors do fade as they dry, depending on how thick you put on the paint. So now I want to put some tint on these trees, just to kind of distinguish the trees, right? Distinguish that there's, so you could tell there's more than one tree there. So going randomly, and in between these little shapes, you can easily create the illusion of like some trees are in front of others by letting the light hit on them, and that light is the yellow. You can use yellow. It don't have to be trees. You can create shrubs and different kinds of wedges. You can do all kinds of things just with yellow alone, throwing it over green or throwing it over blue. Now you see, by not covering it all completely, now you get a nice contrast. You're getting some tonal values here, but they're not very close, but just enough to where you can distinguish the different trees, and you get the idea of, now you could see the shapes. And as far as the land goes, I really like doing that. So here with the fan brush, I took some ultramarine blue, and I'm just coming across a little bit. You can use any color you want for your stream. It doesn't have to be blue. You could have left it I could have left it gray if I wanted to. It's just really fun to do. Oh, I cannot wait to get out. I'm especially looking to do some plein air painting this year. I am ready to go. I got my oils and everything. So you can use a round brush or a liner brush. In this case, I'm just using a fan brush and going straight down to create a tree. And that's basically your burnt umber there. And then with the liner, this is the liner with the very long tip. Some people call them sword liners. I'm using the Payne's Gray that I had mixed for the sky, and I'm going to use it for the branches. Just because I wanted to. Just flicker it around. It's not meant to be perfect or anything like that, just to give an idea, right? I mean, it's just to have fun. So, you know, when you look at branches, they're all, especially a bunch of trees, branches are everywhere, right? And it kind of, you know, being so large like that and dark, it does kind of push everything back a little bit. So as I was scraping for some bark here, it was very wet. And as I've said in my other videos before, you'll get the undertone colors. So the undertone painting. And that's why you'll see some of the ultramarine blue come through when I'm scraping on that tree. Now, these trees really don't need any scraping at all. But I like to do that sometimes just to, you know, to give it an effect of some kind of, you know, a tree trunk, some bark in there. And just coming along this river here. And that's all you have to do. This is a watercolor pen, watercolor marker. And I just put in a few birds. And that's the painting, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed this video. There's the little bitty palette, just a few colors. And you can do this. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.